What if every volcano on Earth erupted at the exact same time? Would continents shatter? Would the skies turn black? Could humanity even survive the first week? Welcome to Ufology. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot, and it encourages us to keep bringing you more of these wild, mind-bending scenarios. Now back to the question. To understand how catastrophic this would be, we need to first understand just how many volcanoes Earth actually has. Right now, Earth has about 1,500 active volcanoes on land, and that is not even counting the thousands more hidden under the oceans. If you add in extinct and dormant volcanoes, the number skyrockets into the hundreds of thousands. Each volcano is essentially a pressure valve for Earth's crust, releasing molten rock, gas, and ash from deep underground. Most of the time, only about 50 or so are erupting at once worldwide. But now, imagine all of them exploding together. So what happens first? The ground would start to shake everywhere. Volcanoes don't erupt politely. They crack the earth open. But lava is actually not the biggest killer, it's ash. Volcanic ash isn't like fireplace soot. It is microscopic shards of glass and rock that slice into lungs and clog engines. Within hours, ash clouds would block out the skies across continents. Breathing outdoors without protection would become impossible. Now let's talk scale. The 1883 eruption of Krakatoa was so loud it was heard 5,000 kilometers away, and it lowered global temperatures by 1.2 degrees Celsius for years. The 1815 eruption of Mount Tambora triggered what became known as the Year Without a Summer, leading to crop failures and famine worldwide. Those were just single volcanoes. Now multiply that by every volcano on Earth erupting at once. The result? A volcanic winter, a planetary scale blackout. Sulfur dioxide and ash particles would rocket into the stratosphere, spreading across the globe. Within weeks, sunlight would be reduced by as much as 70 to 80%. Daylight would feel like a permanent twilight. Photosynthesis would grind to a halt, meaning crops would die, forests would wither, and global food chains would collapse. Temperatures would plummet. Scientists estimate that a single supereruption can cool Earth by several degrees. With all volcanoes going off at once, Earth could plunge into a near ice age within months. And it gets even worse. Ash mixing with rain would create acid rain, destroying fresh water supplies, corroding metal, and poisoning ecosystems. Air travel? Gone. Power grids? Collapsing? And the oceans? Acidifying at terrifying rates. This wouldn't just be a bad day. This would be the beginning of the end of civilization as we know it. So the skies are black, the ground is covered in ash, and the earth is drowning in lava and acid rain. But what happens after the first terrifying weeks? By month 1, most global agriculture is gone. Without sunlight, wheat, corn, and rice fields fail. Even hardy crops can't grow in constant darkness and cold. The oceans cool rapidly, killing plankton, the base of the marine food chain. Within a year, famine spreads across every continent. Global temperatures would likely drop by 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, colder than the last ice age. Snow would fall in deserts. Rivers would freeze solid. Cities like New York, Tokyo, and London would be buried under layers of volcanic ash and ice. And remember, volcanoes don't just spit out lava. They also release toxic gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and fluorine. Sulfur would choke the skies, causing acid rain strong enough to burn skin and kill livestock. Meanwhile, carbon dioxide levels would surge, trapping heat once the ash eventually settled. The planet would swing violently between deep freeze and greenhouse chaos. But could humans survive? Well, maybe, but barely. Survival would depend on preparation. Underground bunkers with air filtration systems could shield people from ash and toxic gases. Hydroponic farms and artificial light could grow food in controlled environments. Nations with stockpiles of grains might last longer, but even those would eventually run out. The real winners? Not us, but microorganisms. Extremophiles, bacteria that thrive in extreme heat, acid, and darkness, would flourish. Rats, cockroaches, and certain fungi might also adapt, feeding on decaying matter in the darkness. Humanity's dominance of the planet would be over. Now let's zoom out. Geologically speaking, Earth has experienced something similar before. Around 252 million years ago, The Permian-Triassic extinction event, also known as the Great Dying, wiped out nearly 90% of all species. Scientists believe massive volcanic eruptions in Siberia released so much carbon dioxide and ash that the climate collapsed. If every volcano erupted at once today, we'd be recreating that event, only faster and on a bigger scale. This could trigger a new mass extinction, possibly erasing humans completely. But here's the twist. Earth itself wouldn't be destroyed. In fact, volcanoes are part of how Earth recycles itself. They create new land, release vital minerals, and help regulate the atmosphere over millions of years. After centuries of darkness, ice, and chaos, the skies would eventually clear. The ash would settle into fertile soil. Life would return, just not our life. Maybe new species would rise from the ashes. Maybe intelligent life would evolve again, millions of years in the future. So what if all volcanoes erupted at once? For us, it would be apocalypse now. Civilization would collapse within months, and survival would come down to luck, location, and preparation. But for Earth, it would just be another reset. So here is the haunting question. Is humanity tough enough to endure a world where the sky rains ash, the ground burns, and the oceans turn acidic? Or would we simply be another chapter in Earth's long, fiery history? Thanks for watching. What do you think? Could humanity find a way to survive this volcanic apocalypse? Or would Earth wipe the slate clean? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to iFology, because the universe is full of questions, and we're here to explore them.